Another thing that is grinding my gears a little bit. What was the significance of the eardrum rupture at the end of the last episode if it's
Tyler,
not even mentioned a week later? I get that it's a week later, but it's like they don't mention that there was a weird Christmas tree down there. What did Navarro see? What made her eardrum pop? I I don't know. Like maybe they bring it up next episode when they go back to a low area in the caves, right? But that to me feels like it's something that like is left on the cutting room floor when they're yeah
it's a
and
miss
I
to
was like
me,
yeah
honestly.
I was like right at the beginning I'm like she's hearing fine and then they show Otis Heiss is in the lighthouse. I'm like what the fuck did we just pulled Otis Heiss out? We got out of the ice cave and we said sweet you got a bloody eardrum, give it 6 days, a couple Advil, talk to me then. Like what the
Yeah,
fuck was that even about? It makes the
Tyler,
it makes the end of episode 4, which was kind of cool, feel very meaningless. Um, and I didn't like that. Didn't make me feel good, Jim.
no. Listen, man, I'm on your side where I'm still enjoying the show. I think it's a good show. I'm not anywhere close to what the people are saying, but I made a TikTok about this because I was so pissed off. And it's just
Oh, you know Jim's pissed off when TikToks are getting coming
I'm
out.
making a TikTok, dude. But like the deal is, man, you know what my problem is. Like if there's a supernatural element, you need to discuss this. You need to talk about this on the show. Like I brought up another TikTok, and I don't think I really talked to you about it in episode 4, but one of the big things here that people think about for their theories is that the water's poison, right? We know that, but like
We know
maybe
that.
there's some
Yeah.
hallucinogenic property to it. And there
Yeah.
are scenes where somebody splashes their face at water, someone drinks water, and literally like the next scene is hallucinogenic, right? So obviously Navarro cleans herself up with the water with our boy Kavik. Next thing you know, the rest of the episode is major hallucinations for her, right? So that kind of stuff here, I understand. And I talk to you and I'm like, dude, there's certain things I get it, but tell me why a ghost screams in her ear and her eardrum pops, right? And her ear is bleeding. That does not make sense to me. Like, so I'm waiting for this to be answered in this episode because if you don't answer it, I'm annoyed. And they didn't even bring it up for 1 second. I mean, she doesn't say like, "What? Can't hear you out of my ear." Like she doesn't say anything, dude. Like
give me that. Yeah, give me that.
I mean,
My ear's still healing.
7 days later, I mean, she looks pretty damn good in her face for getting beat up, but I'll allow that. But I'm not gonna allow the eardrum thing to just go away. Like they didn't say anything about how she was pretty much like traumatized looking, ear bleeding. Danvers doesn't say like, "You all right, man? I know that was tough in the dredge." He's like, "You're doing okay." Like, if they said that, I'd still be pissed because I want to know what made her ear pop. But still, at least bring it up. I don't understand, man. I really don't.
Yeah, and look, that's the I'm not convinced that that won't be answered in the finale, and I think it will. I do think that like a scene just acknowledging that that happened and we've moved forward a week is helpful. And in maybe such a tight show, like these are the things I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt, but I agree with you. Like
Well, let
it,
me bring this up, and I brought this up last episode, okay? And I'm using the same analogy, okay? So in Dexter New Blood, no spoilers, but there's like a villain, a minor villain in the grand scheme of things, but because they don't like give you a send off for him, it makes you think he's going to end up being a big deal by the end of the season, right? And me and Kathleen are doing our podcast, and a lot of people are theorizing, being like, "Well, this guy's got to come back. I mean, where is he? Like, what the hell happened to him?" We talked to the director and showrunner, and he goes, "Listen, it's on the cutting room floor. We had a literal scene of him getting on his helicopter and piecing out, being done, and." We're sorry, but we just didn't show you. And I'm like, respectfully, that stinks because I'm thinking that he's going to show up. And he said, no, I get it. Right. So
did you
I
say that
hope,
to him or did you
no,
chicken out?
no, we talked to him pretty well. I mean, it was a good conversation. He actually, I mean, Dexter New Blood is very polarizing. So he thought he got like death threats at the end of it. So he thought
Oh
we were going to
shit.
tear him up. So, and me and Kathleen actually liked it, for the most part, but we told him like
Yeah.
our problems and he respected them and he told us the answers. Like he told us
And yeah,
why.
that's I like to think that this show has I like to think in 6 episodes this is storyboarded to death and like because every scene really does like get something out of it. But yeah, that is really strange that they didn't bring it up at all. I feel like the argument against it, because I thought about this being like, am I out of line here?
No.
And the argument could be like, look, a week goes by and we right away show you Otis Heist talking about a supernatural event where, to recap it, when asked what happened to his hearing and vision, which um I thought that he was totally blind, but there she's like,
We
point
talked
out
about
this
it's one
map.
eye. Yeah, it's one
I'm like, I
eye.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hanging in there, but he's not in
Yeah.
great shape. He says that like, hey, when they're digging out the caves, ice collapsed, guys were trapped in there. We were looking for help, couldn't get any. We heard howling. All the people started walking towards it. I did, and then all of a sudden I woke up in the hospital. So similar, like a more epic event to what happened in Navarro, where she's kind of lured to this Christmas tree, and then all of a sudden she's done. But yeah, I could have used just like some acknowledgement of it, and like because that would have made me feel better about it coming us figuring it out. We've seen this show use like cut ups, so I wouldn't be surprised if in like the beginning of next episode they're in the ice cave and it shows her like flashing back to that in Navarro's character, and she's like, "Oh no, my hearing did get lost a little bit in
Yeah.
that." But yeah, that was a bit disappointing, just for the flow of the episode.